Right, so I'm here today to show you how to edit a first opening paragraph in our Gatsby essay. So if you look at our paragraph here, if you open up with a quote, some of you do, it does not do to dwell in dreams and forget to live, J.K. Rowling there. I would just change that around. Introduce the person, give them the title, the, I don't know, famous author of, let's do Harry Potter is a longer work, so we italicize it. The famous author of Harry Potter once said, and then comma that, it does not do to dwell in dreams and forget to live. That way we can kind of get out the awkward, quoting the person in the beginning. Just flows a little better doing it like this. So nice hook. In what ways do dreams, those marvelous visions of the future, impact our lives? So I want to show you one useful punctuation mark that I really like a lot, and that's the em dash. I talk about it a lot, but how do you make an em dash? And remember, if you want to kind of interrupt the flow of a sentence and throw some information into that sentence, such as those marvelous visions of the future, the commas work and the commas are right, but if you want to offset it a little bit more, if you do two dashes like that, it's the key right next to the plus sign, and then hit enter, you'll see that word turns it into what's called an em dash, which is a dash about the size of an M. In what way do dreams, those marvelous visions of the future, kind of close it out there. I just backspace to make sure it kind of connected up there. And now you have it between em dashes, which just sets it off a lot better. So in what ways do dreams, those marvelous visions of the future, impact our lives? In what ways do dreams guide us? In what ways do dreams make every tomorrow a tomorrow worth living? So as you probably saw from your edits, I would consider this a comma splice. In what ways do dreams guide us? I'd probably just put another question mark there. And then, in what ways do dreams make every tomorrow a tomorrow worth living? That's obviously a question as well. So now I kind of run into more of a hook, kind of jazz it up a little bit. Picture this. If you're picturing this, I usually would go with just a colon there. And maybe kind of up to you, but I would probably capitalize that. Picture this. Tomorrow you wake up, you stretch out your arms farther. That is an allusion to the end of Gatsby. You probably picked up on that. And you achieve that which you always dreamed of achieving. Now I put a couple scenarios in here. I like three scenarios. Sounds good to me. One would be too few. Two might be okay, but I always go with like three options. So here's my first. You walk across the stage and receive your high school diploma. Wrong form of your there. Hopefully you picked up on that. You don a stethoscope and feel the warmth in your soul as that first patient calls you doctor. You slide the key into your Ferrari's transmission and start the engine. You can, at long last, stop struggling against the current. Hurrah. So another allusion to the end of Gatsby. But then you wake up the next morning and something isn't right. Your count of enchanted objects has diminished by one. So again, this is a comma splice. Here I would probably go with a semicolon. I think those sentences are close enough related that you can get away with the semicolon. A period would work, but a comma is too little. Notice I like using italics for emphasis, so how that sentence would read, but then you wake up the next morning and something isn't right. Your count of enchanted objects has diminished by one. Why is enchanted objects in quotation marks there? That again is from Gatsby. So what do you do? And again, you see my italics now. The Great Gatsby was written by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Even Word recognizes that that is the passive voice. So you always want your subject doing the action. So you would want this. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby. A lot of you put it in quotation. It's a novel, so you would actually just italicize that. So F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby. It's better. Stronger sentence. And in Gatsby, I'd probably change that to italics as well. You're referring to the title of the book. And in Gatsby, a great man struggles to achieve his lost dream. And when he does achieve that dream, at least in a way, his entire world implodes. So another thing an em dash does, it kind of allows you to form a longer sentence, or it allows you to kind of put a coda, like a little tail on that sentence, throw some more information in there. Again, the comma would be right, but I think the em dash gives you more control. And when he does achieve that dream, at least in a way, his entire world implodes. Notice also in the writer's toolbox, you can always do what's called a parenthetical aside, where you kind of comment a little bit more on the sentence, or you add a little bit of a twist into the sentence. So, yes, he achieves that dream, but you qualify it in parentheses, at least in a way, his entire world implodes. Now I want to move into my thesis. I want to argue something. More than anything, Jay Gatsby should serve as a warning as to the nature of dreams. Again, I spliced that comma. I would probably go with the semicolon. Dreams can take us far, but it is imperative for humans to continue striving towards some elusive goal, lest our lives become meaningless. And again, I would maybe put an M dash there. And you could argue that I overused the M dash, but I think it's just such a wonderful punctuation mark to kind of control your flow and control your sentences. So those are just a couple things you want to look out for. This is not a perfect opening paragraph, but I wanted to show you the M dash. I wanted to show you how to get rid of passive voice and how to better use semicolons and avoid comma splices. All right.